Our port day at Funchal, Madeira began, predictably enough, at the port. After successfully clearing the gauntlet of tour and excursion vendors, it's about a 700-meter walk, a little less than a half-mile American, to the first landmark. The 18th century Fort San Jose is now privately owned and apparently under renovation. Access is restricted, but you can still climb the seawall and get a good look at the Atlantic approach to the city of Funchal.
Hi, we're Jeff and Sandra, American expats and nomads, living abroad, on a budget, one country at a time.
A couple hundred meters more brings us to landmark number 2. We headed east because, why wouldn't we? That's where Old Town is, and the Promenade looked like an interesting walk. We skipped the Ronaldo Museum as we aren't really football fans. We're more interested in seeing architecture like this. The old sailing ship at the marina required a closer look. Apparently they do whale watching tours, something we may be forced to look into when we return to Funchal for a longer visit. And we definitely do plan to return for a longer visit. There are quite a few cool sculptures along the promenade, as well as a few places to get food and drink. We wandered down the jetty to the lighthouse and had a look back at the city. A major tourist draw that we did not take advantage of is the cable car to Monte Palace and the Botanical Garden. Forte de Sao Tiago, though, that was something we couldn't pass up. I mean, come on, it's a huge yellow 17th century fortress. Originally built to help defend the city against pirates, the Fort of St. James is now a popular tourist attraction. Figure on 45 minutes or so to see it all. From the fort, we headed into the Old Town area and meandered about for a while. Oh look, a 15th century church. We ended up heading back towards the water, aimless wandering gets like that, and found ourselves at Mirador do Socorro. Across Rua de Santa Maria from the Viewpoint, we found the Church of St. Mary the Great. This 18th century Baroque church is one of the more beautiful small churches we've visited. We were a couple hours into our visit at this point, and food became the next step in our mission. Apparently there's a driveway there. Using the almost never proven incorrect logic that the best value in food is usually found far from typical tourist draws, we headed deeper into town. Rather than being pedestrian friendly, this part of town is barely pedestrian tolerant. So we have the nice wide road here, and that sign that's just barely tucked up against the building says this is a bus stop. Although there are bus stops, there's a better sign showing that bus stop on this super wide pedestrian friendly road. Success came in the form of a corner cafe where we negotiated for coffee, pastel de nata, and an, omelet sandwich. It was good though. We had a brief rain shower after we finished our snack, but set off back in the general direction of the port. Very generally in that direction, mostly headed kind of towards the center of the city. Another site to be explored on a future visit, the Cathedral of Funchal, looks like it will be another impressive church. By and by, we found ourselves at Funchal Municipal Garden. a smaller park than the Botanical Garden by Monte Palace. We were happy to have found it. This relatively small garden, about 2 acres, packs in a lot of botany. There are many benches to relax, plant species gifted by other countries, a small amphitheater, and a terrace with a cafe. Continuing on our increasingly convoluted path back to the port, we chanced upon the Municipal Theater. After some 5 hours of wandering more or less aimlessly around this beautiful city, we were back at the port.